Oh, those are my shoes. Got you good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. That's right, it's great to be alive. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Oh, is the show starting? Oh, it must be. We heard our introduction. Hurry, giddy up, girl. Oh, we don't want to be late for work. Oh, girl. Oh, giddy up. Oh, what a warm, welcoming introduction. Get out of here. Excellent. And the horse you rode in on. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome nuns and all. That's right, priests, preachers, cardinals, rabbis, weirdos with beardos, Alcoholics Anonymous, anyone who woke up and accidentally clicked on this. Whoops. Welcome nuns, welcome all. We have got a fantastic show for you today. Sorry. We've got a free show for you today. That's right. Lo and behold, we find ourselves, as we were contemplating that of, you know what is, and we know that whilst, maybe not, a lot of individuals take it upon themselves to start considering that of the ramifications of embarking on endeavors of whatever they embark on. Sometimes you don't account for, everything that's inherently, a part of what that embarking entails. Right? Now, obviously, before we get too far into the show, before we venture into any metric of furtherance into what we are going to talk about today, all right, or what we don't talk about today, before we get too far ahead, we do want to take the time, okay, to apologize for something last stream, okay? Well, we can't be perfect all the time. That's God's job, okay? Believe you me, if we can be perfect all the time, we wouldn't have to apologize. But alas, pertaining to our last stream, sorry about that. Excellent. Forgive and forget, right? Let bygones be bygones. Don't worry about it. Excellent. All right, where do we sit today? Today we're talking about kinds of types, because yesterday we talked about types of kinds. Seemed like it'd be a funny play on, I don't know, the words, and seemed pretty easy to do at the time. Thumbnail done. In essence, the show writes itself. And just to ensure we get that monumental gain with which we are afforded, according to our marketing department, when we invested the $11 we made in literary sales, about a month ago or so, we need to obviously utilize our marketing tactics and techniques of a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy. Yes. Now, usually this generates and elicits ones of subscripifications according to what the guy who sold it told us. And believe you me, if it elicits, someone to accidentally stop by a used tire shop or a mattress store on occasion, I mean, we're game. Nothing wrong with a used mattress store and a tire shop. What's a used mattress store? You wonder why they pop up all the time. Are they new or are they refurbished? It's like new to you. I don't think they go around like, inherently advertising like used mattress stores. Probably not a lot of takers. believe you me, people usually want their own bed. Sometimes. I mean, you know, everyone shares, right? You go to an Airbnb, you go to a hotel. It's not your bed. I mean, it's yours for the night. But you wonder why people lift up the mattresses and check for bed bugs. Well, that's not a joke. It's because they don't want bed bugs in their mattresses. But alas, people generally want their own bed, their own space, their own, you know, kind of thing. But when time calls and you got to stay at a hotel, it's not that of your own. Ironically, unless you're the owner of a hotel chain and you stay at your own hotels, then somehow it actually is. But, I mean, is it a room that's on hold for you always? Is it built into the contract of anyone who franchises out one of your hotels? Or I don't know. Maybe you don't allow franchises. Maybe you kept it all centrally to that of the, you know, entity itself, all right? Fantastic. And maybe you just built it into every structure. I don't know. When I'm in Wichita, I think I might need my own room. You know, so you make an entire hotel in Wichita, one room, you are the only one with the key to, hire people to run it, you don't even live there. And alas, lo and behold, you end up going to Wichita for some reason, you got your own room, it's your own bed, right? Otherwise, for everyone else who maybe doesn't have their own hotel chain with which said scenario could apply, very unlikely, yes, but you never know. Gotta account for what can be accounted for, right? That's right. It's the kinds of types there are. But alas, as we venture and go forth into the different kinds of types of transitions that the show embarks upon in this episode, all right, we are reminded that as we think about it, we made the description, well, the description's the same, but the title of the video and or the title of the stream far more complex and off-putting than that of should of need. Now, obviously, there's a difference in the kinds of types of entertainment that you can do, right? There's good entertainment. There's whatever this is. And ironically, because we called Daryl Dixon dibs at being best of the worst internet celebrities there is, we're best of the worst. There's actually stuff worse than this. Not much, obviously. We didn't say a lot. We said there's stuff. Okay, there's kinds of types of stuff that are worse. As we venture forward and go forth and such, obviously we add the complexities to that of what we do because we look for that of resonantial gain, right? We, as Shyzabox, self-proclaimed cosmological philosopher, whether a good one or not, subjective. Believe you me, there are good ones out there, there are us. Yeah, it's subjective, right? Now, the biggest thing between us is that, obviously, we are not empirically validated. Now, it makes it, sure, hard in many degree, realm, and aspect to possibly be taken seriously, okay? And it's because of that component and aspect that we don't like to go around just looking silly and foolish on the internet, okay? Obviously, if we're going to be conducting ourselves in a manner of cool, calm, collected thinking and things of that nature, we must take it upon ourselves to adorn that of our thinking hats, okay? Now, that's right. We don't want to look ridiculous on the internet. Believe you me, there are other ways to make sure that if you want to be ridiculous, you could be. Adorning and donning that of one's thinking hat does not make them ridiculous, obviously. So that's why we do it. We don't want to look foolish, right? No. Put on those thinking hats. All right, obviously, like we said, we made the title of the video far more complex than that of which needs to be, okay? Well, it's because inherently we like to look at that of resonantial, kind of viability versus that of forced entropic design, okay? We literally utilize eigenvalues and things of that nature, the system itself, foundationally, fundamentally, within itself, wanting to exist, okay? We ourselves love life. We want to exist. We want to wake up every day. We want to do that of what we can do, right? Fantastic. Now, we might not do it well. That's fair, okay? Because the same way that there are types of kinds, there's our kinds of types, right? Play on words, sure. Now, keep in mind, obviously, as a self-proclaimed cosmological philosopher, maybe not even a good one, all right? With us not being empirically validated, we look even all the more crazy usually. That's fine. That's why we adorn our thinking hats. That's why we make the complexities lie within the realm of where we desire that complexity to lie there within. Now, don't worry about it. When we formalize, all right, our understandings of Einstein, when we formalize our understandings of Tesla, and or more importantly, when we utilize our interpretations of that of both for both, okay, because that's all it is. It's all subjective. It's all interpretation. We could be right. We could be wrong. The same way that therein, these entities, these afforded thinkers, these, free-willed, independent individuals with whom graced us with their conscious thought and that of their endeavors, that of their prowess, that of their, accords, their affordings to that of what they have left behind for us to wallow therein, whether for good or bad. Hello, how are you? We're doing good. Who's that? Noob? Welcome, noob. Believe you me, we're doing better now that you're here. Not much going on around here. We're just getting into some of our Tesla talk, right? Believe you me, it's not good. It's free. We don't got to talk about that. We can sit here and do whatever you want, noob. Believe you me. Noob124-E7U. We can call you Noob124-E7U, right? Well, of course we can. So, Newbie Doobie. We were just kind of kicking it. We were going to venture into that of Tesla. We theoretically, in our opinion, obviously solved that of his 369 scenariofication that has plagued the minds of individuals for a length of time, right? Ever since he had passed one way or another, right? All right, now. And ever since that of his notebooks were ransacked by that of totally not clandestine operations. But obviously, when we start thinking Tesla, we are well. Thank you. How are you? We see your chats, believe you us. They're far more important than whatever we're rambling and bambling about. But we're just gonna, finish our thought. We put the Tesla, into that of the title because we're looking for that of resonantial gain, not that of forced entropy. If someone doesn't dig talking about metaphysics, if someone doesn't dig hijacking the show, okay? If someone doesn't dig You know, Newbie Doobie. We can call you Newbie Doobie, right? Nah, of course we can. Newbie Doobie, we go back once a chat ago. So, Noob124-E7U. When we look at Tesla, and we look at, you know, the big 369 thing, okay, you know, we look at the lack thereof, where 369 is not, as maybe a solving there too, okay? Our massive equation, now, get this, our massive equation of 1 divided by 7, some TI-85 math shit, right? Because, like, computationally, probably costs $100 to run that equation. But no, when we look at Tesla, you know, we look at it a little differently, okay? We never had a formalized, empirically validated, or physics class of any way, shape, or form in high school and or college. Shyzabox fell through the cracks, baby! Thanks for the diplomas and degrees! I enjoyed paying back that money. I don't have a ceiling. Live in our mom's basement. For philosophical entertainment, of course. What is understanding after all? Subjective at best. All right, Noob, what you got saying here? It's better than what we got, trust you me. How I see Tesla is like a China ripoff upgradish car. Ah! We're not talking about that Tesla. We're not talking about the Tesla cars. We're talking about Nikolai Tesla, the person, okay? The cars are, you know, whatever. Yeah, they're whatever Elon Musk wants them to be, and or whoever trillionaire boy hires for that of whatever trillionaire boy desires. Now, good old Shyzabox, again, this is all for philosophical entertainment, that of our own opinion, because we are not under an NDA, we don't work for a big company, and we can spout off at the mouth with only the ramifications of us having to eat our own words at the end. Which, again, pertaining to our last stream once more, sorry about that. Forgive and forget. Believe you me, stream wasn't good. I am 15, though. Well, 15. Newbie. You've taken probably as much physics as us, then. Now, obviously, the show inherently isn't for kids, so because we utilize Fiedler to reinterpret Landauer, all right, it makes us implicitly state that the second law of thermodynamics is negotiable. And believe you me, Noob, that's probably not good for you to go into a formalized, empirically validated classroom setting into that of your theoretical high school endeavors, collegiate future, and then be like, hey, I saw this crazy cosmological philosopher guy on the internet. He sucked. But he said that Landauer is literally disposable logic because, you know, he uses Fiedler to reinterpret him as such. He doesn't prioritize the erasure of data. He prioritizes the structure of the structure. The data structure itself. But believe you me, the show is not made for kids, unfortunately, Noob. So while we do appreciate you stopping by, we don't want to lead to a necessitation, all right, for contemplation into what is not empirically validated to be of question because it impedes on the minds of a youth. Now, everything's subjective to reasoning and interpretation and things of that nature, right? I am from Singapore, so I'm not quite sure how elementary school, middle school, and high school works. Well, have you had a formalized physics class? You know, that inherently is the biggest draw. It's not whether one's mind is of age to hear the bad words that we say on occasion, okay? Well, or to entertain that of what we contemplate, okay? It doesn't matter about where you're from, what your background is, except for We are a crazy, rambling, cosmological philosopher that is not empirically validated. Now, good old Shyzabox say, empirics be damned, what was once empirically of necessitation is now empirically of a need necessitated to be overhauled. Because we literally live in a overabundance and saturation of literally PDF logic and that of the educational apparatus. That's not even a word. See, that's why the show's not for kids, noob, because we don't even say real words sometimes. We misspeak. Sorry about that. But lo and behold, we do appreciate you stopping by, but because we've never had a formalized physics class, you are better far off for embarking onto that of another endeavor or thing, or, go partake in acquiring that of the knowledge of at least a basic physics, understanding, so that you can tell us how wrong we are. Inherently, yeah, we don't want to impede minds of youth. The show is unfortunately just not for kids. They're just, even though ironically, we've had as many physics classes as they have. But yeah, it works a little different here. They don't usually put physics stateside in, elementary school or anything like that. And you are right at that precipice of 15, 16, 6, 7, after 10, 17, 18, where you are that of at least legal adult status with which you can understand. You can walk along the crazy radical axis we navigate on that of the algorithms and the internet. Maybe not well, but you can, kind of follow along and be like, oh, okay, this is just some crazy asshole on the internet, right? That's us, good old Shyzabox. Because we've never had a formalized physics class, we can look ridiculous stating that the second law of thermodynamics is negotiable when you reinterpret Landauer. Okay? Utilize Fiddler. Okay? Fiddler. However you do it. We haven't had a formalized physics class. We can't pronounce. Don't celebrate that. It's a flaw in the system. But no, literally, it's a witnessed resonantial functioning gain system that we look for. That's why we look for more complexities in that of where we seek to disseminate, that of what we disseminate, where we seek to do such. One must go. It's the same old tradition. You can't lead a horse to water and put its head down in it and not drown it. I mean, you can't make it drink. Whatever, however you look at that of the sayings is subjective, right? Don't force an animal's head into water. That's right. We just said don't do it. Calm down, PETA. Jeez. Sorry, I gotta go. It's 10 p.m. here and I got school. Bye. Hey, you have a good one, noob. Remember, just because we say the second law of thermodynamics is disposable logic doesn't mean that your teachers will agree. They'll look at you very wrong. They'll laugh at you and point and judge, and even if you say, well, crazy old Shyzabox said so, you just have them come talk to us and audit our work. Send our descriptification. Believe you me, but you shouldn't be having those conversations if that of which understanding has not been reached and or ascertained there prior to. Priori knowledge. What is that one? Posteriori knowledge. A priori, post priori, it doesn't matter. Got it, thanks, God bless you, and I hope the best for you. Well, hey, thank you, God bless you as well, and the best for yourself. Thanks for stopping by, newbie doobie. We'll always have these conversations and that of our mind. If we ever rewatch this and, encounter that again, especially. But hey, after you had a physics class, come audit our stuff and hang out. We would love to chat metaphysics with you. But remember, we monographed lectin in our book Delectable, so we've proved our theory. Tell your teachers come talk to us, but because you yourself haven't had a formalized physics class yet, let them have that conversation. But you have a great one, newbie doobie. We'll catch you later. Okay, all right, yeah, you be back, absolutely. We look forward to many great conversations in the future, believe you me. Okay? It's going to be fantastic. Especially if your teachers are there. Bring your teacher next time. Your physics teacher, and then we can formally state we view Landauer as disposable logic and give the reasonings therefore without having impeded the mind of that of one who has not been at least under the umbrella and or apparatus of one who is deemed empirically validated by that of the system that, ironically, everyone says lies to them. That's why we have an intelligence paradox, literally. In our book, Delectable. Do not buy this book. Don't buy it. If you buy this book, you go up into dumb techtables metrics, okay? It's an intelligence paradox. Either school lies and tells people, like Shyzabox, okay, lies, or Shyzabox lies and tells people stuff, and they're like, well, Shyzabox is lying, but the people themselves say that school fucking lies. Well, it's an intelligence paradox, and believe you me, humanity is living within it. Doesn't matter which part of the, pyramid you want to stack. The pyramid exists. That's why when we utilize that of Lithic Logic over that of PDF Logic, which is where humanity lives right now, humanity literally lives in PDF Logic, okay? Don't celebrate that. It's oversaturated. Many hypotheticals as well, not empirically validated sustenance. Many substrates within which exist merely on their own metric and accord of ridiculousness. For one to truly unleash the Cisco Dragon, one need adhere to the principles and nature foundations of what unleashing the Cisco Dragon means. When we unleash the Cisco Dragon, alright, we aren't looking to see that thong. No. We're looking to make a Cisco point. That's right. Show what you learned in dance club, dance team. She's all that, right? Choreographed to perfection. Good cover, Usher. Usher isn't Cisco. Well, they might have met each other. But if we're going to unleash the Cisco Dragon, here, it doesn't matter if Usher led the dance team and she's all that or not. When you unleash the Cisco Dragon, here, it's for a valid point. Like making a point. We better not unleash the Cisco Dragon today. It is the Lord's Day of the Rest, after all. As we venture forward, you got your kinds and your types. You're obviously play on the types and the kinds, okay? There's going to be iterations. There's going to be inherent designs to the system that are either going to agree with everyone or not. There's going to be types and kinds of systems that are either going to line up with that of everyone's universal metrics of understanding, or they're not, okay? Eventually, as that of our understanding of these metrics in the pyramid, all right, are being utilized in that of the foundational, traditional geometric gain of the universe, it's going to overlap different aspects of these at different points in time, and every single time that it crosses, all right, it's going to result in some sort of gain, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. As what is the conception, theoretically, again, for philosophical entertainment, of time and understanding goes, all right, the fabric of what aligns and is universally agreed on, theoretically, then aligns with that of inherently where the broken system and structures resonate. Now, within that of the system itself, you have everything that can exist, right? Every single thing that can be possible, every little thing that can be probable, every little thing that can be some measured metric of gain, loss, entropy, anything like that. Everything that is, that can be, resides within that foundational understanding, theoretically. Insert God, insert Allah, insert being a heathen and not adhering to either principle, deity, that thereof in understanding, be that of one with whom is of celebratory in every single component and aspect of any single theological entailing and or endeavor, be that of whom believes in Ein Sof and the principalities of that of ancient old Hermetic and Kabbalistic and Rosicrucian type knowledge subsets and substrates within which have survived the tests of time to at least be extracted theoretically to their interpretive deductions and realizations therewith, with which we understand them today. That of your Gnosticisms, that of whatever resonates with one's understandings and or beings, okay? It doesn't matter what anyone believes, okay? If we can foundationally agree that no matter what, everyone is subjective to that of where that reasoning, that thinking, that conscious thought can even take place. We need a structured foundation of understanding to which where we can look at our neighbors, we can look at our brethren, we can look at our friends and our family whenever we have a disagreement, and instead of going to war, instead of enacting violence, instead of having hatred or rivalries or feuds and or entropy with which is created off of a ridiculous reasoning for a misunderstanding and that of a subjective deductive reasoning therewith. If we can agree on a structured foundation of lithic logic, of stone foundation and truth, of something that is physically present that we know to exist, then inherently we can abide by the metrics afforded thereof. We can call a hard reset to that of humanity, theoretically, okay? And set aside that of the blanketed PDF logic within which we reside. It is too grandiose. Universally, regionally, by every metric, iteration, and form of interpretation thereof, the system is inherently broken. From the top to the bottom, and the middle to the sides. Within the system where Landauer logic is true, it's of broken logic with which resides. Landauer is true in a broken system. When you utilize a formalized Gödelian loop, all right, as that of the system that we can exist in, everything that can be, all right, good old Shyzabox has that of our own as well. Like we said, this is us, all right? We get to be this one, all right? Education, they get to have one. Everyone gets to have, ironically, their own individual one as well. Everyone lives and exists. Some people belong to different ones. Some people collectivize and form that of their others. All right? And now when these groups have a disagreement, they're either going to attract or repel each other, theoretically. Okay? If we have a foundational knowledge with which exists that we can build not only a metric of working together for the betterment of mankind and setting aside petty bullshit differences, then foundationally, that of what exists, that of our understanding, okay, whether empirically validated or not, empirics be damned, all right? If you work together, you can accomplish that of the metrics that the whole system has to offer. Theoretically. Now, we're not saying we got the answers. We're not saying we're even accurate or right on. But what we do come with is some receipts. What we do come with is a measured metric, all right, of foundational, philosophical, and computational understanding. To some degree, what we do come with is that of what is our empirical background and what has been given to us in the certifications, accreditations, and or the life lessons within which we went through the institutions that be and elicit the harboring of knowledge. Those who say what is true, those who say what is correct, those who say what can be. Okay? Those who say yes, those who say no. All right? Within which position of those whom say yes or no was one with whom was over that position of affordation of its creation, with the individual aspect and component, one who additionally said yes or no to its filling. You have yes or no logic all the way down, yet it's not universal logic within which is applied to that of the universal metrics and understanding of what knowledge is. Okay? Just because academics says this is knowledge that exists here, and Shyzabox says this is knowledge that exists here, within which between us, all right, is why academics more correct. Okay? Now, you go with empirical validation, you go with that of what is formalized in printings, publications, and this of that nature, all right, sure. We went to the institutions, okay? We got the diplomas, we got the degrees, all right? There are people who vote yes or no to the teachers who get put in place, yes or no. All right? You're not getting universal knowledge, you're not getting universal logic, you're not getting universal metrics, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. Again, we're not empirically validated, okay? There's a massive difference. What we are is computationally validated in that of our mathematics, that of our contemplations, and literally that of our working theory. We literally monographed lectin, okay? Ancient, old, pre-Stoic philosophical term a bunch of old dead philosophers used to use. They're dead. The information was lost. It was literally a red dead-end search term on Wikipedia. That's not how you say it. Fuck that site. In our opinion, because we escalated all the tiers of their site. They're stupid. In our opinion. We told them to go talk to people. Everyone has their own belief systems, okay? I'm telling you right now, academics is broken. We hear all the time academics is broken, all right? Well, which is it? Is academics broken? Are we broken? Or is it everyone saying that both are fucking broken? Well, look, we got a goddamn clown right fucking here now. I'm telling you, the entire system's broken, and because we literally have our own Shyzalosophical closed Godelian loop, it is very apparent for us to be able to not allow these external facts come in and contradict our closed loop system. It can't be done. An external fact cannot contradict a closed loop system, yes or no? That is correct. If we pull out that of our visual aid, a red foam squishy clown nose for that of our clown logic and PDF logic that we live in right now. And we live in PDF logic and that of the world. There are so many PDFs, there are so many blanketed things out there without receipts, without verification, without empirical validation. Now here's the thing. Us as well. Holy shit, what an intelligence paradox. There is so much information out there that it very well is all probably false. Now, truth exists, does it not? Theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. If truth exists, and it is in a system, when time progresses, when time goes, all right, and crosses over that of every system, whether it's a broken academics, whether it's a broken individuals, whether it's a broken us, and everyone looks at us ridiculous. You guys are clown. What the fuck ever. Downvote is harder, daddy. We love them. It's like a massage. We don't give a shit. Remember, we already proved that of our theory. Empirics be damned. We literally moved a metric kernel of data from Kaggle to Web3. We have our own sovereign micro blockchain in the future wild, wild west of Web3 internet. Check it out. It's in the motherfucking descriptification. We don't hide behind the math, we don't hide behind the science, and we're not scared of motherfucking academics. Audit us. Go to the Kaggle notebooks, go to anything. Lithic Logic reigns supreme. Your broken-ass PDF logic that you live in right now, okay, that has afforded us that of our punk rock to come out in our pickled punk philosophy, soaked in brine, not literally, figuratively, metaphysically. This exists because we were pissed off that Wikipedia told us that the paragraph that we wrote and said add to your site on lectin, they said no. Can't have anything on lectin, it doesn't exist. It's a non-sayable. You can't say information that doesn't exist. Oh, we beg to differ. Look what motherfucking exists. Now there's a damn monographing on it that's been out for a good while, and it literally proved itself. It broke Amazon.com's pricing algorithm. Don't celebrate that. It's trying to trick you. Do not buy this book. That kills us as an author. This is our favorite book. We've written a shit ton of books, okay? We would love anyone to pick up any of them. Transmutating God, New Non-Native Species, Mankind's Origin, Nailing Kalimba, whatever. Buy all of those. Please do not buy Delectable. It is trying to trick you, okay? We already proved our theory. We literally moved a metric kernel of data. You don't need to like what that metric kernel is, what is in it, what is harbored, any of it, okay? Believe you me, one can go look at exactly what we moved. We don't hide it. It is on there on full display. Now, we utilize geology as cryptography. Okay? On top of that, we are very familiar with Francis Bacon and that of the metrics and affordations of how he vernacularly embedded that of code and hid shit and shit. Now, we would never say that we hid code in all of our metric kernel of data that we moved. But because we're not under an NDA and we don't work for a big company and we give away all the games and demos and everything that we make for free, okay, we can tell you this. Oh, yes, we did. Doesn't matter. Do not buy this book. It's trying to trick you. It's literally an intelligence paradox. As time goes on, as it intersects these things, eventually that of truth, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment, that of truth exists, okay? Even in a lie, there is truth because the lie affords the portions that are not true to come to fruition. It's full circle. If you have a closed system, and look at Gödel, a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? Everyone has their own system. Everyone is their own philosopher. Everyone is their own historian. We just formalized ours and computationally put math to it. You can utilize Shyzalosophy. You don't have to. You can call it whatever you want to. You can call us the clowns of cosmological philosophy because we're not empirically validated and don't have a doctorate from literally the one school that would cost us upwards of $250,000 to uproot our lives and go pursue and chase the ascertainment of a literal piece of fucking paper. Get the fuck out of here. We're not buying into your PDF logic, and we're no longer going to afford us the understandings of ridiculousness and that of society. Empirics be damned, all right? We are not beholden to the logic and how we are remembered and that of the eyes of man, and give a shit. You think Diogenes gives a fuck someone cares about what he thought now? Hell no. Going around in that of the daytime with that of his lantern and such, looking for an honest man, okay, and that of the city in the daylight. Damn, couldn't find one. Lithic Logic reigns supreme, and we computationally back it up in that of everything that we provide and are afforded of that of our understanding and abilities computationally, all right, to get as close to empirical validation without it being empirically validated out of a refusal to engage. Why? Okay? Now, is it because of a refusal to engage, or is it because the system is plagued on a save-face merit basis? If you confirm something that is unconfirmed, you get ridiculed. Your career is over in academics. Okay? It is bogged down with so many PDFs that are unsubstantiated, that are unvalidated, ours included. We're no different. We're just as clownish as everyone else, for we are humanity, and we are a part of that of what we are as well. But guess what? We might be wearing the clown nose. The world's living in the logic of that thereof. Because Shyzabox cut that bullshit off, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment, all right? When we utilize that of our metrics of lithic logic and our understanding, we utilize that of a foundational base knowledge of information that we can start over and agree upon. Do rocks exist? Is there rocks out there, okay, physical solid rocks, that we walk on, that we can skip across water, that we can stand on, that we can utilize to construct and build that of a foundation on? Okay? A stone foundation, right? Your PDF logic is broken, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. Or not. Anyone who's waited in line at the DMV, anyone who's had to pay those surpluses and surcharges on additional taxes to float, okay, an apparatus that is merely administrative, go look at the descriptification. We literally did the math, pulling national data metrics and everything like that from that of the system of taxes. Okay? That's not our numbers. Those are national numbers. But we did the math and provided the tool. You may put in any individual municipalities within that of its place and calculate down to a virtual closer percentage than ever before, okay? You're welcome, world. The government might not say so as well, all right? They may be like, how dare you expose our administrative state and system with this over-contestation of that of digital services over that of police officers. The math doesn't lie, the science doesn't lie, and we don't hide behind that shit. Audit it. Go to town. Do rocks exist? Can we agree on that, whether you like us or not? Whether you think we're a fucking clown? We don't care what you think about us. Can we agree that rocks exist? Huh? Shyzabox is crazy. You don't have to like Shyzabox. No. We get it. You told us that breakfast, Mom. Don't gotta remind us throughout the day, like, via text and stuff like that. Like, oh, honey, I was just thinking what a disappointment you are. Hey, we get it, Mom. Thanks. We joke, we kid. Shyzabox wants for now. You have that rock foundation, all right? When it grows and yields the gains afforded by nature, all right, you can shed and shine that light of truth and foundational knowledge, all right, within which exists, and get it to the degree and capacity where everyone works together to build on that foundation, all right, the same afforded way that nature provides lithically. Lithic means rock, okay, stone, rock. Okay. Can we set aside the squabbling, set aside the pettiness, set aside the dumbassery, and work together, all right, to harness the great powers, right, that exist, and that of what mankind can bring to the table? Ooh, fancy magic. Yes. Who is this clown? The dude who put that massive Tesla equation on his theoretical solvings thereof of 1 divided by 7. I could never do that equation without a TI-80 5+100 calculator graphing plus. Unless I used any calculator. Now it's going to round it at the end, obviously. But the only number within which 369 does not exist. We look at things a little differently. We view Landauer as disposable logic because we utilize Fiedler to reinterpret Landauer. We don't prioritize the erasure and the speed of erasure of data. This is forced entropy. You're creating heat. You're creating the metrics which set up the computational need, okay, for one to even necessitate that of a fucking heat sink. You're having to dissipate the heat and the entropy with which you decide to create. It is literally negotiable. Prioritize the literal foundational aspect of how the data is housed in how it is. Don't prioritize the speed and erasure of data, all right? Landauer is disposable logic. It works in a broken system. It is true. It is empirically validated to be such computationally in that of quantum computing. We understand Shyzabox is good old-fashioned crazy for saying Landauer's disposable logic. But again, empirics be damned. We've never had a formalized physics class, so we get to interpret shit however we want. For good or bad, for better or worse. Now, with all the magic talk, right, of that of what inherently is just power of lithic logic and knowledge of what a stone can afford you, and that of understanding. Nature has concentric geometric gain, okay? Piezoelectric power and energy is inherently more than a thing, okay? You can go through and follow, all right, all the way through quartz, all the way to Amherst and things of that nature, the reddish ironing, the reddish breakdown, all right, the oxidization of every single component, all right, of what follows through that of stone. The gain happens, baby. There's a reason that this exists, and foundationally, they start off as merely minor, little, tiny stones thereof. Okay? These little tiny guys up here, all right, your camera sucks. Okay, buy us a new one. These little guys here, all right, notice that little partial gap barrier too. That's very important because we utilize a partial vacuum gap in our formations. Our logic does. We don't like working in a full volatile system that already exists. The system exists. We use post-Oganessian metrics on means of not eliciting nuclear reactions. They already happened. We don't need to force them to happen again. What you're playing with is the result thereof. Theoretically, philosophical entertainment. These smaller individuals, they grow up to be that of the bigger. How does it happen? Where does that power come from? Right? It's a piezoelectric gain. It's the affordations thereof, and it's the understandings that of lithic logic reigns supreme, and the affordations that nature provides inherently and organically on its own affordations, accordations, and metrics. That of, all right, how we utilize the Shyzabox Laplacian matrix, all right? It's resonantial matrix, all right? It uses the topological components and aspects, okay, which are already Shaw sealed and centered, okay? There's no takesies, vacuums. It utilizes the foundational metrics, all right, of what is already there, okay? The pyramids, all right? Stonehenge, Göbekli Tepe, all right? The Azures Plateau, theoretically, whence aligned, and believe you me, we already Sha-sealed it to it, all right? A 92% efficiency at running and holding the capacity to utilize, in essence, as the Atlantis Mastiff, all right? A way to power and generate that of an entire global grid, theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. Hello and hi, who's that? Tatiana? Well, hey, Tatiana, welcome. Yes, thank you for the love hearts. We deserve them. We're just saying that, you know, Lithic Logic reigns supreme, Lithic rock, stone, right? Crazy old cosmological philosopher us. Lithic Logic reigns supreme, piezoelectric power and energy in essence is way easier to utilize and use and is way more natural because, you know, comes from nature. Okay? There's a reason why the little stone crystals, okay, that are on the top of this, all right, very, very tiny, all right, your camera sucks, we know, yes, yes, grow up to be this, okay, all right, the energy comes from somewhere, the power comes from somewhere. Piezoelectric energy, you know, within that of Lithic Logic reigns supreme, okay? The world utilizes PDF logic. The world lives in that of, you know, what is, you know, empirically validated and unvalidated at the same time, because empirics cannot validate that of what is the system in which it lives and resides in, because a living system cannot visualize and see that of its own growth. Therefore, it is at a standstill. Because everyone is throwing more and more growth on the system, yet the understanding of which is not yielding a gain. A gain is not going to be elicited and utilized until that of a foundational overhaul of the entire system is done. Theoretically, in our opinion. Now everyone says education's broken, everyone says the system's broken. Piezoelectric energy is afforded through that of nature, okay? When we utilize that of resonantial stability versus, you know, entropic utilizations of forced entropy and, you know, not affording that of a natural gain therewith, all right? Like we said, you can go through, you can see the iron residues, you can see the piezoelectric capabilities, all right, that are afforded through that of many a component and structure. Lithic Logic reigns supreme. That of what is afforded through nature will far show the telltale signs, should mankind look to them, in an alternative form and fashion, all right, and reprioritize maybe that of its understandings for a momentary pause to that of the PDF logic and with it in which we live. There's too much. Hard stop. Hard stop and a hard shutdown is necessitated on all of that, which could be even construed or deemed knowledge. Okay? Hard stop. Now, that's bold to even state or claim, but again, you're throwing more shit onto a pile that no one is able to shovel or tunnel through. Now, good old Shyzabox been shit on our whole lives. Theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. We can shovel some shit, but we don't like to. Apparently you don't either. That's why, if there were a hurdle, like a pile of shit or something in a mystery magic box, oops, that's going to be backwards, apologies. If in a mystery magic box, alright, Shyzabox is on one side of this, okay, we got our shit shovel, okay, we're like, oh, what's in this mystery box? I'll bet it's shitty, alright, we're walking on the path of life. Okay, it goes this way. We're trying to get to, obviously, the other side, but we gotta wallow through some shit, right? Well, we're thinking to ourselves, it's gonna take us a long time to dig all through this shit, right? So, we use our mind, okay, to change that of our shovel, okay? into that of a quantum shovel. Pretty much it's the same thing, but has a fancy handle, and it costs $250. Don't buy it. And then, instead of shoveling the shit, we utilized our thinking, we utilized our quantum shovel, and we were like, hey, who put all this shit here? That's ridiculous. So, we pole vaulted over that shit, literally to the other side. And we were like, wow, that was great. Good thing we left our pole there, so anyone else who desires to vault over that of what is a limitation and that of one's understanding, capabilities, desires, hopes, dreams, or there within any component or aspect thereof. Metaphysically, for philosophical entertainment, that of what one may utilize, that of what one may do, with that of the informations with which one is afforded the luxury of ascertaining and or gained, all right, is that of the difference between acknowledging when you truly are utilizing that of resonantial witness logic versus that of entropic forced, metrics of gaining heat versus gaining gain. Believe you me, there's a difference. And it's Lithic Logic. All right. Well, we're out of swill. That's pretty much going to do it for us today, but we do thank anyone for stopping by, checking out, and or partaking in that of the utilizations therewith of any of the understandings with which they decided to even contemplate to embark on the journey herewith. For, believe you me, it is embarking on entertaining that of what in one's mind they must put themselves through and afford themselves the opportunity and capabilities to do that achieves the desired metric of one's gain within which they would desire to see. Remember, no living system can witness that of its own resonance gain, so you need to be sure that you're focusing on everything, first and foremost, that is of that of yourself, because there's only one you, and you need to take care of yourself first and foremost overall. That's right. You be sure you take care of yourself, because not only is there only one you, but we can't replace you easily. We can't go around making fake accounts, subscribing to ourselves. Speaking of subscribing, if no one's gone and checked out its operator Kev's site yet, or that channel, we understand it's because we haven't told you to do it yet. Well, apologies. We're pitching it now. Obviously, that's worth celebrating. It's Operator Kev. They're looking to get into some live streaming soon. They're going to be talking about all sorts of awesome conspiracy theories and things of that nature, the takes they're on, within which add more conversation to that of the subject at hand. Whether you enjoy that information, whether you don't, having the ability to talk about it, the means of another dissemination that you can get one's views, interpretations, opinions, beliefs, and see if it does meet that of the resonantial logic therewith, and not a forced, kind of entropic gain. Give a subscribification, give a follow to It's Operator Kev, alright? Not to us. Fuck this channel. Shit sucks. Go to It's Operator Kev, subscribe there, because he's looking to get into live streaming and bringing forth more conversation, more topic, more information for that of whom to embark and engage with, who decides to. It's fantastic. The more at the party, the merrier. Unless it's a party for two and you got third wheel there. Believe you me, that party can be blocked and not as fun. Theoretically, for philosophical entertainment. Parties exist and reside within where they do. Believe you me, parties always here. Now, it might always suck. But when you call Daryl Dixon dibs at being the best of the worst internet celebrity, it's always going to be crap. Just the best crap. Not worth celebrating necessarily. But, you do you, internet. Take care of yourself first and foremost. There's only one you. We can't replace you easily and go around making fake accounts and subscribing to ourselves. Believe you me, we get in trouble for it. We've tried it a couple times now. We're not going to take the chance again. But after you take care of yourself first and foremost, you look around everywhere. You look to your neighbor. You look to your friends. You look to your family. You look for and to anyone who extremely more needs help and maybe not know how to ask for it, okay? That's right. A lot of people out there need help. They don't know how to ask for it, and it would be a blessing in disguise if one were to come along and be able to help them. So you take care of yourself to be sure you are afforded the luxury and ability and capacity with which to even do so. Then you take care of anyone else who really, really needs a second, because that would be all the bestness in the world to make things better, working as a whole to do good things. Laugh as you will. Yes, yes, our ideas are grandiose. Our non-empirically validated selves are spread thin on toast. But it's in that desire to work together to do that of greatness, to do that of things as a whole, because us individually, we can't do it. I mean, hell, we don't even got a ceiling. You've seen the show. Accidentally or not. Doesn't matter. Point is that you take care of everyone else so that we can work together and build a foundation moving forward to where we can set aside the petty differences and squabbles that exist within the realms of PDF logic and misunderstandings that we are afforded that of whatever the heck we call this crazy world and universe that we live in. Matters not. Set aside the squabblings and your subjective interpretations thereof. For then, once you do the first and the second, you may look around the room and take care of anyone else who you like or love more than Shyzabox next. You see us, we're peddling our wares and our books. We're like, buy Transmutating God, buy New Non-Native Species. Don't buy Delectable, it's trying to trick you. And you're like, oh, you don't got to tell us we weren't going to buy any of them. Okay, we get it. You take care of anyone else that you like or love more than us. Maybe you like or love 6, 7 more people than us. I don't know. You take care of them next, okay? But if you got anything left over at the end of the day, I mean, we'll take it, because beggars can't be choosers, right? Because remember, we don't want your subscription, we want your money. Downvote the shit out of this, go to Cashapp and give us a buck, or go to Amazon.com and search Shyzabox books and buy one of them. Or to be funny, go to Books A Million, go up to the front and order one of Shyzabox's books. Make them search it. Get off our lawn!